The Third Knock. Part 4, Final. I stood there, frozen, staring at the old guest register. My name. My birthday. My check-in date. And beneath it, my date of death. Today. I slowly stepped backward. No. I'm still here. I'm alive. The receptionist looked at me with a sadness I'd never seen before. Then she quietly asked, "Do you remember how you got here?" I drove. Highway 18. I passed through the forest. I stopped for gas. My voice trailed off. The memories suddenly became blurry. I remembered the rain. I remembered the empty road. I remembered gripping the steering wheel. Then, nothing. I couldn't remember arriving at the hotel. I couldn't remember carrying my suitcase inside. I couldn't remember walking into room 312. It was as if someone had erased that part of my memory. The receptionist slowly closed the guest register. "That's because you never made it here." The entire hotel suddenly shook. A distant siren echoed through the walls. Then another. Closer. Voices began surrounding me. "Hurry! There's still someone inside the car. We're losing him." Clear. The sound of a defibrillator echoed through my head. A violent pain exploded inside my chest. Then the memories came rushing back. Rain. A pair of headlights. The tires losing control. The windshield shattering. The steering wheel crushing my ribs. Blood. So much blood. My car had wrapped itself around a tree. I collapsed to my knees. I crashed. The receptionist nodded. 3 hours ago. I looked up at her. "If that's true, then what am I?" She answered softly. "You're still you. But you're no longer where the living belong." A cold chill ran through my entire body. Then, "What has been chasing me?" She didn't answer. Instead, she looked toward the end of the lobby. I turned. The man in the white shirt was standing there. For the first time, I saw his face clearly. My heart stopped. It was me. Not someone who looked similar. Not a twin. It was my face. My scars. My watch. Even the same tired eyes. He smiled. "I finally found you." I backed away. "No. That's impossible." He kept walking toward me. "You've been wondering why nobody ever acknowledged you since you checked in." I froze. He was right. No other guests had spoken to me. No one had looked at me. No one had moved out of my way. Even the security cameras had only ever shown me. He laughed quietly. "You think the cameras were recording me?" They weren't. They were recording the only person who still believed he was alive. I looked at the receptionist. "You knew about him?" She closed her eyes. "I know all of them. Every soul that dies here is given a choice. Move on. Or stay." I frowned. He smiled wider. "We're the ones who stayed." At that moment, everything finally made sense. The eyeless people inside the hallway. The security guard. The whispers. The blood. They had all been like me once. People who refused to accept their deaths. As time passed, they forgot who they were. The only thing they remembered was hunting the newly dead, stealing their memories, keeping themselves alive in a place where nothing should exist. I looked at him. Then why? The 3 knocks? He laughed. The knocks were never mine. They belonged to them. Who? The people trying to wake you up. Suddenly, 3 knocks echoed through the entire hotel. Knock. 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 Then another. And another. Soon hundreds of doors were knocking at once. The sound surrounded me from every direction. Through the noise, I heard voices. My mother. My father. My sister. Friends I hadn't spoken to in years. All of them calling my name. Then I remembered. The ambulance. The paramedics. They had been performing CPR. 3 compressions. Again. And again. And again. The 3 knocks were never coming from a hotel door. They were the rhythm of people fighting to bring me back. The man lunged toward me. You can't leave. He grabbed my arm. The hotel began falling apart. Walls cracked. The ceiling collapsed. Every door burst open at once. Inside each room, someone was standing. Every single one of them was me. Older, younger, burned, broken, bleeding, smiling. Hundreds of versions of myself whispered together. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! I ran toward the light at the end of the hallway. Hands reached out from every doorway. Cold hands. Dozens of them. Then hundreds. They grabbed my arms, my legs, my neck, trying to drag me back into the darkness. The light was only a few feet away. 3 feet. 2. 1. Everything disappeared. I opened my eyes. Bright hospital lights blinded me. A heart monitor beeped beside my bed. A doctor collapsed into a chair, exhausted. You made it, he whispered. A nurse smiled through tears. That last round of CPR brought you back. I looked around the room. Everyone looked completely drained. Someone quietly said, another few seconds, and we would have lost him. For the first time in hours, I smiled. I was alive. 3 months later, I had almost recovered completely. The nightmares stopped. No more hotel. No more hallway. No more knocking. Until one evening, while cleaning out my belongings from the accident, I reached into the pocket of my old jacket. There was a brass hotel key, stamped with one number. 312. My hands began shaking. According to the police, my car had never reached Black Creek. It crashed less than 10 miles from my home. I opened my laptop, searching for one thing. Raven Hill Hotel. No results. No hotel. No town. Nothing. Except one newspaper article from 1958. 33 guests killed in Raven Hill Hotel fire at 3:13 a.m. I stared at the black and white photograph. Standing at the front entrance was an elderly receptionist, wearing the same uniform, smiling directly at the camera. She held an old guest register in her hands. The final page was open. Even in the faded photograph, I could still read the last entry. Room 312. Next guest. Not yet arrived. If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more horror stories every week. Your support helps the channel grow and allows me to bring you even darker tales from the shadows. Now, before you leave, take one last look at your front door. If you hear 3 slow knocks tonight, don't look through the peephole. Don't make a sound. And no matter what happens, don't let it know you're awake. Sleep tight.